You're now listening to episode 80 of Signed In, an Xbox 360 podcast, recorded on November 5th, 2011. Find us online at signedinpodcast.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Signed In. I'm Jeremy Superfro33.
I'm Craig Propdresser.
And I'm Sean Shonix.
And we're all in a silly mood.
Yes, we are.
That is right.
A little behind the scenes there would have been a little
a little too much for people to take.
Yeah.
I will tell everybody this, that they probably should be the most thankful for the fact that we don't let them know what we record prior to us starting the actual show. That we don't put that out in any way.
Yes.
I was about to ask, should I do like a separate show that's just all of our clips?
I think
if we did that, we'd have to charge people, I think.
I think so too. Maybe we should.
That's a good idea.
We are broke. I think the best...
I didn't know your eyes could turn into dollar signs like that.
They
Wow,
do.
That's creepy.
They didn't do the noise, though. I don't know that going on. Nah, whatever. That's your job as an editor. So we'll see how good you are. No, but that is that. You should be most thankful for the fact that we don't bring that to you, because it's terrible. But here we are doing a real show now, and now we're going to be professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like always.
That's us.
We'll derail this train pretty soon.
Nothing but the tops. So we're going to talk about some games this week, gentlemen, and what do we have?
XBLA G-wise, I can't believe I said it that way.
You did.
Indie game-wise, DLC Quest, The Scapegoat, No Pain, No Brain.
I have some.
Okay, good.
I have a little DLC quest, which was already mentioned. Darn it. And then Castle of Pixel Skulls.
Pixel Skulls.
Oh, I did play that too, yeah.
I got what you guys got. I'm going to tell you what I got, I guess, the whole episode. Because I got a little bit of Battlefield. I got some Goldeneye Reloaded, some more Batman Arkham City.
Yep.
I've got some Pinball FX to talk about.
Yep.
And some Kinect Sports Season 2.
I just piggyback all you guys today.
There you go. That'll work.
Because I played a smattering of all that stuff. Yeah.
In addition to that, I got some BurgerTime World Tour, Zombie Apocalypse, Never Die Alone, War of the Worlds, and Dance Central 2.
Jesus Christ, kids. Let's get into this stuff.
Let's do it.
I rented Dance Central 2, but Summertime didn't play it. So
Really?
No. I was upset.
Why didn't you play it? Because you really rented it for you.
I didn't rent it for me.
I bought it for me. Suckers.
She's not on the show, so you're on the show. So just tell us honestly.
I want to live
how you
vicariously
thought
through her Dance Central 2 moves. I dance in the background.
You want to watch her moves.
I dance in
You're
the
messing her
background.
up.
No, I just dance in the background. I'm off. I'm like in the kitchen. In my own moves. It's
I've been to your house. That's literally like 2 feet over.
that's what I'm talking about. But it's
do you
not
mean
in
the
the
background?
it's not in the center rise.
You're just over.
Yeah.
On Dance Central 1, I secretly have a rivalry with Summer. I'm always trying to beat her high scores.
Secretly.
I don't say
Not
anything
anymore.
to
It's
her.
public.
That's true. Now
She's going to hear this.
I don't know. Does she listen to the show?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does. Oh,
He
okay.
makes her.
There you go, Summer.
I make her.
That's your challenge.
She likes
beat my scores.
She likes listening to the show.
You've
Threw
got
the
some good
gauntlet.
scores.
Who's her favorite?
Huh?
Who's her favorite?
Me. Oh, duh.
Still not fair.
She waits for me.
I'm just making sure. I'll ask her.
Those episodes where I like just have disc games,
Yeah.
she'll have me fast forward to the disc parts because she just doesn't want to hear you guys talk about XBLA and
That is terrible.
XBLG.
The next time you don't have any XBLA games.
We need to stop saying XBLIG.
I know.
You started it.
I know. I didn't mean to.
The next
It
the next time you have no arcade or indie games,
Yeah.
I'm just shit talking her for like 3 minutes. I'm going off on a tangent.
So it's like normal.
Yeah, correct. Now she won't be skipping ahead.
Yeah. So
I gotta, in case these guys say something.
No, she doesn't skip ahead.
All right,
I do.
let's talk some indie games. Let's talk some indie games.
Let's do that.
All right.
Who wants to start?
I'll kick it off.
Okay.
I'll kick it off with Castle of Pixel Skulls. It's by Joseph Manzonis. It's sells for 80 points. It's a platformer. It's a lot like Platformance or that Ban the Thousand Spikes.
Aban. Yeah.
Aban or whatever. Aban Sur. Yeah.
Aban Sur.
Aban Sur.
That's a different podcast. I know.
But you're like this little skull that has a sword, and you just have to get from point A to point B and avoid spikes, avoid lava, avoid your normal dungeon.
A lot of death traps and Now you can't kill the other enemy skull things, is that right?
You just kind of
You just beat them back.
yeah, you just kind of get them out of your way for a little bit. Yeah,
That's what I thought.
But I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the same line of like like those platformance games. But this one just seemed a little bit different. I liked how like when you got to each level, because it's more like you're going up levels to get to your whatever it is, the
goal,
the entry point to another crazy room.
Oh yeah.
I like how it saves, like if you die on that level.
Right.
So then it saves, but it's also on a time limit too. So then you have to beat the time.
Right.
And that sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it was a little hard sometimes getting through in the time limit.
Because you like got to that like to a different point, you're like, whew, and you take a breather. You can't take a breather.
No,
because you're running out of time.
Moving.
So
yeah.
And it sends you right back to the first level I found when I was playing through it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I made it to like the third or fourth
There's no
level.
continue. It's just kind of an arcade style game in that sense, where you just go as far as you can.
Yeah, and I liked it for a buck, and I like the design. It's like it says it's Pixel Skulls, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had
music was good.
I had a lot of fun with it. The music was a little repetitive for me.
Well, yeah, but
it was like it's like a very short loop, and then it just keeps going, and it was nice. But then it started to get on my nerves a little bit. But anyway, I also played No Pain No Brain from Monkeyware Studios for 80 points, and this is a retro style kind of Nintendo era, 8-bit era, and it's got little homages to things like the opening is like a Mega Man opening.
Nice.
But you're this trucker who fights zombies. And he's going around saving people, and really great design for everything. Like all the character sprites are really excellent. You run around, you have like a light attack with the X and a heavy attack with the Y. If you press B, then you'll do like this rolling dodge, and A is jump. And I think that's pretty much all. Well, you can pick up like weapons, and you can use those with a heavy attack. And you can pick up burgers to heal yourself, and so it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, kind of like Double Dragon or something like that. But you can't really move up or down. You're just moving in a straight line across. But the graphics are really well done. Great artistic design on it. The music's a lot of fun. It's one of those games, however, where it looks like they made it on a small screen and then just blew it up. So it's a little fuzzy looking, a little bit. And you'll really notice it when the timer for the demo comes up, and so it's like all blown up in your face. But besides that, it's actually quite a bit of fun. The first boss that I came across, it takes a long time. I haven't beaten him because I get like to 1 health point left, and then the demo ends. So I don't know what happens after that. But and there's a few grammar problems in there, but that's kind of charming as well.
Yeah.
And it's just done with a lot of skill and artistic design, and it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I've got an entry, surprisingly, this week. But
that
it
you
is
played and downloaded.
And I will say that maybe it's my favorite indie game of this year so far.
It's pretty good.
And that is DLC Quest.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
And I love it. It comes from Going Loud Studios. It is 80 points.
Who also brought us Lair of the Evildoer.
And Zombie Accountant.
I forgot we played Zombie Accountant.
So there's a couple there on the track record, but I love DLC Quest, and I find it to be absolutely hilarious.
It's great.
And so what
really
you're dealing
good.
with is an action-adventure game, I guess, side-scrolling.
It's a platformer.
Yeah.
But you're super limited when you start. You can basically move to the right. You can't jump. And so
there's no sound.
There's no sound. You can't pause the game. You can't do
Your
anything.
character doesn't actually walk. He just kind of slides.
And what happens is you have to collect coins in the game and essentially unlock things by buying DLC.
Right.
So you'll find DLC packs that are like a movement pack, which allows you to move left and jump. Yes. And then there's an animation pack that actually shows you like your animation when you're moving.
Right.
There's a sound pack, so you can unlock the sounds in the game.
And of course, there's armor for your horse.
There is horse armor, which is fantastic. It's super expensive.
Yeah, it's a satire game.
It's really fun.
Kind of making fun. Well, it's making fun of the gaming industry itself, but I think it's also making more fun of all those people who complain about DLC, and they're like, "Oh, that should have been included in the game."
Exactly.
So they literally give you things that should have been included in the game.
Right. And it's just super funny.
Yeah.
So basically, all you're doing on this platformer is running around getting coins, and you're trying to. I mean, the overall story is you're trying to save a princess.
Yeah, yeah.
but it's also just exploring this area, finding coins, and unlocking more DLC or buying more DLC,
killing sheep,
and finding DLC packs because you have to find the packs as well in other areas, and killing sheep, yes, and telling people you're not going to help them because there's lots of like funny RPG tropes that are in here as well that are really funny.
They're very good.
And getting up to your sword, and you get the sword, and you got to go like sharpen it on the grindstone, and the guy's like, "Oh, it should take like 10,000 rotations," and you go over there, and I'm hitting the X button.
I know,
and it's like it's slowly moving that bar, like barely noticeable.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is terrible. But there's a pack that you can buy that speeds up that process. But I also love running
Sexy
into
outfits pack,
running into some of the other NPCs.
That just reminded me of that free DLC that I got with Enslaved.
Yeah, that's all I could think about. And then running the other guy, he's like, I need you to do this and find this and go get this thing. He's like, what are you talking? I'm not going to do any of that stuff. It was really funny. It's really clever. There's little pop-ups things that there's little signs that pop up information as you go along and tell you what you need to do, or give you just a little more in-jokes in the game. I thought the stuff was really well done. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Did you finish the game?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man.
The real way, too.
Yeah.
The real way.
Oh, that cracks me up so much.
Right.
What do they call them? Amendments that are in there?
Awardments.
Awardments.
Yeah.
Awardments.
Yep.
And it makes me, because I've gone through it not a second time, but I got the right ending, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's pulled me back to play because I want to get, kill everything and try to get everything on those awardments. So
yeah, I mean, that's sort of achievements and awardments are, and I'll come back to this with BurgerTime, but those are very useful because they help you play the game fully and think about things to do with more play.
I found this game like completely clever. The concept was hilarious from the beginning.
It takes about a couple hours?
No,
about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, maybe
I was done in like a half hour.
I split into 2 playing sessions.
Okay,
so
I did like the whole thing in a half hour.
But I was really searching for coins.
Well, this was with all the awardments and everything. I was barreling through it.
Did you find all the coins?
I think so.
Oh man, I'm probably missing one that's like hidden behind a wall.
I was going nuts.
Yeah,
it was awesome. So I mean. I got all the awardments and everything. It was probably about a half hour, but regardless, it's $1, and like just the wit alone of like the creation was worth it for me. So I highly recommend checking it out. You'll think it's hilarious.
Some of the names for the DLC are really good, and just having fun with it.
It's so tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I the only problem I have with it is I just wish it was just a little bit longer. But other than that, I had some fun with it, and I'll play it again.
DLC.
Exactly.
And I thought the little guy, the little the pixelated guys are very
I like
very cool. I like the design. It's got a very Costume Quest. If it was just pixelated, like just flat, which because they got the big eyes, the big heads, and I like that design. Meeting the guy with the gun was really cool too. I mean, there's just aspects throughout the whole thing.
Super funny.
The horse. The horse.
Super funny.
The horse.
Check it out.
Well, definitely worth checking out.
I think the only other indie game we have this week then is a Scapegoat from Magical Time Bean, the folks who brought us, the folk, dude
the folk.
who brought
the folk
us
dude.
Soulcaster 1 and Soulcaster 2. It sells for 240 Microsoft points. Yeah, and it is definitely worth it. I loved this game.
No, I haven't picked it up yet.
It's so basic. Did you get to play the demo?
Did.
Okay. So basically, it's a puzzle platformer, and it starts off, you're this goat who's being thrown in prison for witchcraft. And so
Naturally.
Exactly. And so you're trying to escape these different prison rooms by using mechanisms to move walls around, and then later you get a mouse friend who you can send off to go explore different areas and hit buttons, and if he's wearing a magical hat, you can switch places with him. And I'm totally making this sound insane. But it is so much fun. For a puzzle game, it is spectacular because a lot of the puzzles are actually very challenging. There are points where I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to do this?
Right.
But they're not overwhelming, and I always felt like I could do it, and I did. I was able to complete every level.
It got very portal-y for me in some areas.
A little bit,
I walk in and I'm like, all the pieces are here. What the shit do I need to do?
And I love the use of the magic hat. I think that's a great system because sometimes you have to get yourself trapped. Like that's something you need to do in order to open up like a different area. But then you use the magic hat to teleport out. But you have to think. And that's one of the great things about it is that there are puzzles that if you sit there and plan a little bit, you can probably nail everything in a go or two. Well, except for one set of rooms. and that's another neat thing is that each of the different sets of rooms really push you in different directions. But there's one set of rooms.
Because there's like a hub system you get to that has these different sections that you go in and clear out.
Right. There's like an ice area and the limestone area. And the one I'm talking about is like a machine or something, the infernal machine or whatever. And in each one of those rooms, there's always something moving and trying to kill you and all that. So
you have to avoid it too.
Yeah, and you have to like get started moving like right away.
Yeah,
so you have to assess things pretty quickly. And that was nice. It was a nice change up from all the other things.
That's nice to hear that there are all those different areas are like so different.
Yeah, it's really well designed. I like it a lot. And you can just restart the room just by pressing the back button. So if you get yourself trapped.
Yeah, it was an easy restart, and then you do have the like ram ability too. Like some of the blocks you can break, or like the
wooden crates, or you can push the barrels.
So as you jump through the air, you can like hit the trigger button, and he like rams into it and breaks them out, which is really cool.
And you have to think about sequences and utilizing enemies because there are like these Reaper guys who shoot fire at you, wandering around, and so using enemies to help you complete puzzles sometimes too. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like a lot of the physics of it as well.
Yeah.
Like when they would like break out one of the crates and it would drop a stone and that would crash through all the other stones.
Right.
It would sit on top of it with just fine, but if it dropped from one space,
momentum,
it would create or crush them all.
Yeah,
which is really cool. So I like a lot of that stuff with the other environment aspects playing into how you solve the puzzle too. Really well done. I love the music.
Oh,
I thought the music was great.
You can download it for free, but I paid him $5 for it, which is more than I paid for the game actually.
Good call.
Now that I think of it.
Good call. Yeah, on their website, which we can link to in our show notes as well.
Yeah.
You can listen to the music on there. You can get the music it's as pay as you want.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you can get it for free, but probably kick them at least a couple bucks for the awesome soundtrack.
It's really good.
At the least.
He does everything on there.
Yeah.
Design, programming, graphics, music.
Really good stuff.
He's a one-man show. And he's put out 3 games in at least 3 years, right?
Yeah,
probably faster than that, 2 years.
I stared at that one and I just was like,
You should play it, though.
I'll try.
You're probably too dumb for it. But you should still try it.
Okay, I'll give it the college try.
Just jokes.
It's got some simple levels.
Simple. Now, see, I was joking, and now he was like taking it serious. Like, oh, it's got some simple levels. You could figure those out.
Sweet.
See, know who your real friends are.
I do.
They're not in this room.
Neither of them are.
That's what
Neither of them are present.
the one is not here.
That's it for indie games, right?
I'm done.
Let's talk about some XBLA, some arcade games.
Can I go back a little on the old one, Dungeon Defenders, real quick?
Oh, yes.
Because we were going to play some co-op. That did not happen. But we are going to play some co-op because we did get hooked up with some review copies.
Yes.
So that will.
And I really want to try it out.
And
I do think it's going to be a lot better with co-op.
So hopefully next episode we will be able to talk about some more of the co-op experience and some more experience in general. I did get a little further into it on the single player side. I'm still not feeling it. I'm having some problems with that game.
I think
it's so deep. I think that it's almost maybe too deep for me because I just can't get into it. And I think I was trying to pin down what my problem was with it, and I think that I'm too OCD. Like, well, when I play a tower defense game or a defense game like that, I really set up symmetrical situations. Like, so like I put matching turrets on like identical sides. Like I really get OCD about how I set those things up and like patterns. And this game is, I admire the free form of it that you can really kind of do whatever you want, but it was almost too random for me. Like me placing objects, it was really hard with the camera. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I know you're laughing, but that's what I'm saying. It was too much freedom maybe for me. Like I wanted like the blocks already predetermined because I wanted to be able to set them up in rows.
Kind of like with Orcs Must Die, where it was a little grid like.
Yeah, I want that. Like, I need that because I need to be able to like have matching things or like be set up in specific spots. And this felt like just a random hodgepodge of me throwing these things.
Tell you
out
what, when
there.
we play co-op, I'll just stand there and I'll be like, a little to the left, little
Please
left.
do. Can you eye it for me? Does this look right?
Okay, there. Oh, you screwed it up.
But I recognize it's my own OCD about it, you know. But I really didn't ever think about it until I was playing this game.
Yeah.
And then, so this game really just reminded me of my mental problems. It pointed out my mental disorders. Thanks,
But I do want
Defenders.
to play some with you.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it next time, more in depth.
Excellent. All right, so from last week, 2 games came out that I tried out. One was Zombie Apocalypse Never Die Alone from Backbone Entertainment and Konami. And this sells for 800 Microsoft points. Did you guys play
I
this
didn't
one?
get a chance to play
I wanted
it.
to because I love the other one, but I
Right.
didn't get around to this one yet.
I have to re-download it because I think there's a problem with the first download.
Oh, that's right. You
It
told
didn't-
me.
Yeah,
it didn't play.
Every time I press start, it's like press start, and I'm like, I am pressing start.
Yeah, I didn't
so-
have that problem
Okay.
at all.
Cool.
Cool. I'm glad you were actually able to play it.
Yeah.
So what did you think of it? You're apprehensive. Not so good?
It's like it's very much like the original Zombie Apocalypse, but a little more annoying.
Oh.
That's not good.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. So the first Zombie Apocalypse had up to 4-player co-op, right?
Yeah,
yes.
But you could play it single player.
Correct.
So this game is running a little more like Left 4 Dead, where there's always 4 characters on the screen, but you can jump between them and they do different things.
Okay.
And they start with different guns and all of that. So actually, those parts are all right. The problem is that since they were making you always run with 4 characters, they decided to give them all personalities. And they are all hideously atrocious.
Really?
I mean, they're really trying to be funny, like because your starting character is like this leet speak gamer dude.
Oh no.
And then and I don't know. Well, the problem is he talks way too much, and he's the most annoying.
Great.
But I don't know. So that part was really pushing me away. There are some fun aspects to it. Like I said, every person has different weapons and has different abilities. Like you remember the teddy bears, the bomb teddy bears from the first game. So your starting character has that, but then there are different ones. Like the rapper has this 80s boombox that plays actual 80s tunes, like real tunes, and then all the zombies dance around it.
I like that.
Yeah, no,
sounds awesome.
There's some really cool things. The tech girl builds like a turret or whatever for a little bit of time.
I like that.
And then there's also like a power meter. So as you're killing zombies, then you're building up this meter, and once you do that, you can activate that. I think with the left trigger, maybe a left trigger or left bumper, and then it activates some sort of like super ability that they have. So for example, the gamer dude like fires extra fast.
Nice.
The rapper dude like takes out a bat and he like basically just jumps at zombies and punches them like whenever you attack.
Nice.
So it's got a lot of cool aspects. It's just I found the dialogue extraordinarily annoying.
That's too bad.
That's not good.
You can so if somebody goes down, you can revive them, like running over to and pressing the A button in time, which I think was a feature in the multiplayer.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I was really torn by it because I did like playing the game. I just didn't like listening to the game.
That's
Could
too
you turn
bad.
down the characters' voices?
You could, but there's long cutscenes and stuff like that.
okay.
So and the dialogue pops up at the bottom. So
So you still have to
I
read
still
their
have to
terrible
read-
things they're
I still
saying.
have to read it.
Even if it's not in the terrible voice, you still have to read the terrible dialogue.
Exactly.
Well, I love the first game a lot. We played that
Yeah.
multiple times.
I played
the
the
multiplayer.
hell out of that game.
Yeah.
And I looked on, and that was, there's a lot of people that badmouth that game as far as like just being terrible experience, and I always had fun with
Really?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get it because I thought it was just a fun, game. I don't know, maybe it was the time it came out or whatever, but so I didn't really hear anything
I mean,
about
what's a kind of simplistic game
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
Right.
twin stick shooter.
it was, but it was a fun
did it well.
multiplayer experience.
Yeah,
And we all
exactly.
got on there and just tore it
And
up.
they got
Yeah, exactly.
ruthless. Like
It did.
ruthless.
It did get pretty rough.
Yes.
Those old ladies with those knives.
Yes.
They will find you anywhere that
Forgot
you're
about
at.
that,
You don't even see them.
So, didn't that one have the pregnant girls in it too?
Yeah.
Those like pregnant prom queen ladies. They would
Yes.
have those flying things that they would birth.
My lord.
It was gross.
yes,
It was awesome.
but it was fun. Yeah,
I want to check
agreed.
this one out. So maybe the multiplayer aspect will be enough for me to get over the people talking,
Yeah.
and then we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, if I can just get past the people talking, it's actually quite fun.
Good.
I'll
Good.
check
And
it
it's
out.
only $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, staying $10 is good.
That's
too,
very
so.
nice.
Yeah.
From last week, I also got a chance to play The War of the Worlds from Other Ocean and Paramount, also 800 points, I believe.
Played this one as well.
And so this is a side-scrolling platformer based on the War of the Worlds story, and I like that they kind of drew elements from all the different interpretations, like from the original novel and from the 1950s movie and from the modern movie. But it's telling its own story, which is set in the 50s but set in London. So, and you play Arthur Clarke. Is that maybe that might be the name? Anyway,
I believe it is. Yeah.
And narrated by Patrick Stewart. And so it's a side-scrolling platformer. There's not a lot of combat involved. It's mostly trying to run away from the aliens and as the Martians are attacking. And I got to tell you, as a interpretation of War of the Worlds, it's fantastic. Like, it really builds a nice environment, and stylistically it feels dangerous. Like you feel like you're being threatened.
I love the art style.
Yeah,
and I love the way that they film the game, or
tripods walking in the background.
The presentation is just amazing, and the way that they focus on things.
Yeah.
And then pull in and then pull back out again, and there's things in the background, and the focus changes.
Yeah.
I thought that stuff, and the lighting,
right?
Like, it was very Limbo-ish.
It reminded me of
like
Limbo, like Shadow Complex. Like if you put the two together in some way.
Yeah.
Just style-wise, I guess.
Style-wise, that's where I really liked it.
Yeah.
Control-wise.
Unfortunately, the game falls apart in controls. Because
I agree.
I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I felt stupid, really.
Oh, my goodness. It's a very frustrating game in a lot of respects. And I think it's because it's like I said, it's not very combat based, and so you're mostly dodging like death traps and heat beams and like killer black oily smoke and all of this, and so it requires you to be moving constantly and sort of getting to new areas quickly, and it just doesn't function that well in order for doing that. The character moves really slowly when transitioning. I find jumping to ledges very difficult because you have to be perfectly lined up for things. I found boxes to be kind of frustrating because you often have to use boxes to get to areas, but the problem is that if he walks up to the box, he'll want to push the box, and then you have to press directly up. You can't press like a diagonal. You can't jump on top of the box. You have to walk up to it and press directly up without running, because otherwise he's going to grab onto the box. And then he does a slow animation to kind of get up there.
Which is fine when you're running away from people, right?
Yeah, exactly. and then sometimes I'll climb up on top of a box and try to jump up to the ledge, and I'm just not pointing up enough, I guess, and then all of a sudden he'll sprint forward, he'll leap into the air forward.
Yes.
And I've had situations where like all of a sudden a box I'm standing on just decides to move. Like it'll just go sliding. And I found I think there are some other glitches as well, because I was dying a lot. I completely admit I was dying a lot. But then there were times when it was very clear that I didn't die because my dude was still standing there, but the game decided to stop.
That you were dead.
Yeah, it decided I was dead and decided to restart me from the checkpoint.
Maybe your soul died.
A little bit inside every time that happened to me.
As a person?
Yes. And
we had
it could use some more checkpoints, because some of those sequences are really long later on.
We got a review copy of this game, so when I saw that and I saw the subject matter of the game, I'm like, War of the Worlds. I'm like, Craig, this is you all the way, like with this stuff, and with the 50s sci-fi. And
as a story, it's fantastic.
And then I sat down and played the demo, and I'm like, Craig is going to be going insane with this game. What did I do to that poor child?
There was a lot of yelling involved in certain parts, and I still haven't beaten it. And I've gotten to a part where I really don't know how to beat it. And sometimes it also reminds me of Limbo because it doesn't tell you how to play the game. Like it doesn't tell you any of the controls.
Right.
The controls are very simple, and you can actually figure them out for the most part. But you get to new parts, like that part with the smoke, and so you're running through this building, like they're dropping these canisters with this death smoke that's coming, and so then you're on top of a roof, and so then you're running in this building, you're trying to avoid it. Then you get to the next building, and the smoke's coming through the vents, and you have to push. You have these boxes and you have ledges. Smoke was coming through vents before, but it was like up on the wall, and now they're down on the wall. So I didn't realize that I'm supposed to push the box in front of the vent and kind of block it. And so I was just trying to run away from the smoke. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? It was like really frustrating.
And stuff like that is, I guess, okay for me if you're learning as you go and kind of having to explore. But on a game where things aren't tight, like control-wise, then it becomes an issue of, am I doing it wrong, or is it not working? Because I knew I had to jump on this level like 2 minutes ago, but I couldn't jump because it wouldn't jump right. So now am I just not jumping right, or do I have to do something completely different?
That's a perfect thing for when you die on a death screen and it's loading. Any game that puts hints in there, whether or not they're stupid hints that but any, like, all of a sudden, there's been times where I've died and I'm like, read the screen. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, perfect. But that's so easy. A game can do that and throw that in there and help you out.
This does give you some hints, like if you get caught on fire, you can use your roll move in order to put the
Not
fire
that it
out.
ever told you how to roll, but
Right.
Exactly.
You had to figure that out on your own.
That's exactly.
But the problem
it.
is that they run in a sequence; they aren't randomized, and so it always starts with that one.
Yeah.
And so you basically have to progress in the game to get more hints. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
trial and error becomes a problem when there's not tight controls.
It does. Well, the tight controls are a problem, and it's I can deal with that easier if like those super hard moments are kind of spaced out. But I feel like every level has like this insurmountably difficult thing to do, and admittedly that does add to the feel of like, holy shit, these Martians are going to kill me.
Yeah.
I can't do anything in the face of it, but as a game, that might not be the best.
I also
impression.
couldn't really fight a super big giant demon, but that doesn't mean that I want to play a game where I can't defeat a super giant big demon.
Exactly.
In real life, I couldn't, but
Right.
I don't need that
I
realism.
don't know. We can get on that game. The game where you always lose.
I think it was Dark Souls. I stopped playing
it could be a choose your own adventure where every adventure ends with you dying.
I would love a choose your own adventure game.
That would be awesome. The style automatically hooked me. I was like into it. The demo I liked, but it got to a point where I was like, I'm not smart enough for this game for some odd reason.
It's not really that you're not smart enough. It's just that you have to. Well, and here's the other thing. There's an achievement for beating it without dying. Yeah. And there's an achievement for beating it in one sitting without dying. And I'm like, those are never going to happen.
Right.
Because there have been times where I was really trying hard and I knew what was coming and I would still get killed because I was behind a wall, so I couldn't quite tell if I was out of the way of a heat beam or not. I was just a couple pixels into that death ray instead of completely out like I was the time before. And so, I'll do things the same way, and I'll still, find new ways to die.
Yeah, and I've had things where I've fallen from one ledge and it killed me, and then the next time I fell off of it and it didn't kill me.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Try to roll when you land.
I guess maybe that helped.
And then
if they told me how to roll.
What was hilarious was that there was one level that ended with him falling off a building, and then he's like, I can't believe I survived that. And then I fall off like a small ledge and I die, and I'm like, yeah, I really can't believe you survived.
He's legitimately surprised.
Exactly.
No, seriously, dude. Normally that shit kills me.
This should be the game that has a leaderboard with the most deaths on it. And
not an achievement for getting through without dying.
Oh,
they should be flipped around, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's that's the unfortunate part about it. The presentation is amazing. And it looks beautiful. I mean, they really do a lot with the minimal.
I keep playing
side-scrolling.
Despite my frustration, I keep playing it.
And the voiceover by Patrick Stewart is really nicely done.
Although I do get annoyed by parts if I have to keep repeating, and it starts off with a Patrick Stewart narration,
and he keeps saying the same thing.
Exactly.
I know.
But tell me how to pass this.
I hate you.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, it just needed to be tighter on the controls.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something they can do with an update or whatever.
I don't know.
If they can, I really hope they would.
Hope
I like the game. I keep playing it, but
right.
But man, it's gonna make me insane.
I know.
There's a lot of
when I played, I'm like, what did I do
game.
to Craig?
Yeah.
Like that, he's gonna kill himself.
What did you say, Sean?
I said there's a lot of things to like about the game.
Yeah.
And I love any time that Craig's like, I did everything I could. I believe you every time. It's like some people tell me that stuff,
thorough.
and I'm like, whatever.
I'm a
I know
thorough
better.
motherfucker.
Exactly. But when you said that, when you say that for a game, I'm like, Jesus, I can't touch this game.
That means I spent 5 hours trying that one area.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that James Bond game, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Anyway, the last arcade game I've got came out this past week. BurgerTime World Tour, also from Konami and Monkey Paw, sells for 800 points. Again, a lot of 800-point games here. So this is an update of the old
And some of them play like it.
arcade game Burger Time.
Yes.
I don't understand what you guys hate so much about it.
It's not that I hate the game.
Okay.
That's about it.
What is it?
It's just I want the other Burger Time.
What's so different?
I don't. It's the way it's set up. Okay, so it's like Burger Time.
Yes.
If anyone remembers
Oh,
the
yeah.
game Burger Time, you're this little.
I'm just running on the assumption everybody knows what I'm talking about.
So you're like this cool chef that runs around, and you've got salt.
Is he a cool
pepper?
chef?
I'm sorry, pepper.
Is he a cool chef?
Not in this version. The other one was, I thought.
But you can be your avatar.
Yeah. Oh,
You didn't notice
You can be your avatar.
Oh no.
So all of a
Not
sudden,
in the cutscenes.
all of a sudden, it's the best game Sean's ever played.
No. But
Dress
so
yourself up like a chef.
it's what is
That's
it?
why
It's
I thought
Burger-
that's why he said the chef was cool because it was him running around.
Oh,
But the Burger Time, it's the world. So
Yes.
it's like you're kind of in this like cityscape at first.
They tried to
'cause
make
you
it
go
like 3D
Yeah.
almost.
no, a little bit.
a little bit.
I mean,
And-
still running on a 2D plane, but there's 3D, animation wise.
And there's a little bit of a curve to it, which kind of I think that was my biggest deterrent of the game.
Really?
Was because I had a problem with the some of the villains them showing up. So you're making burgers throughout the games, and you're on these other levels, and you have to walk across, your cheese, your lettuce, hamburger to make a burger, but you got to fight, the fried
So
eggs.
walking across them drops them down.
Yes, but there's the fried eggs, there's the pickles, and then there's the
dogs.
the hot dogs. Yes, so the pickles were tiny, and I thought they were tiny.
They're as big as the hot dogs.
No,
I thought they were
they're a little
taller than you
bigger.
as a character.
Yeah.
Actually, I think.
I see, and I thought they were a little bit on the smaller size because when I went up top, and I don't know if that's the way the camera would move, but it seems like I was seeing an undershot of that level and not above it. So like they was showing, you could see this little green bouncing around, and it wasn't until I got up to the top, but I was already at right there. I climbed up the ladder, the camera changed, and then I got killed by the pickles.
You don't have to climb all the way up the ladder.
I know, but I got killed by the pickle because I didn't know he was up there when I crawled in the first place. Because if it was the old Burger Time where I was out and I got to see everything, then I could see it. I don't know. That was a little bit of a problem I had with it.
I see.
But the pepper,
That's
and then
a-
you can.
that
This
makes
one
some
has
sense.
you can pick up special move, which is like a karate chop move.
Yeah, your whirlwind with a ladle or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
and he just does a spin, and then they go flying.
Yeah.
but
That's a lot of fun. And you can destroy the enemies if they're like my favorite move is to like halfway walk across a piece of burger and then wait for the enemy to come at me and then hit them with pepper and then finish it. And then as they drop, that destroys them and it drops the burger faster.
Yes.
And can get you combo burgers if you finish the burger with that.
Combo burgers.
Like the Italiano burger if you include a Frankfurter.
ooh,
oh, nice. I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
and
That's
that gets you
nice.
more bonus points at the end. So
that's cool.
See, I liked all those little elements. I mean, you could kill the enemies in the original Burger Time that way, but and I think they would drop 2 levels when they're there. But adding in those extra things to kind of quantify it and push you a little further to try and do that. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I haven't bought it yet though. I can't decide. It's good, and I do like the original Burger Time, but it's not. It's kind of like, do I feel like I want to play the original Burger Time that much? Because it's not very different from the original Burger Time in terms of gameplay.
And I think
the special
that's-
move.
Only in style.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where my draw, like not my draw is, like where I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Your fence that you're sitting on.
But I was never a big fan of Burger Time in the beginning. It's not like I was a huge fan of that game. It was just the
My
one.
grandparents had it with their Nintendo.
Well, see,
I
and
played it a lot.
that's awesome. But that was the one
That
where
Maniac Mansion.
you're at the gold mine and Street Fighter's taking over, and you're like, oh great, and then you go to the other game and that's taking over. You're like, oh great. So then you have to settle on Burger Time. I don't stand in lines for games. I wasn't
Burger
those
Time or
guys.
Popeye.
I wasn't those guys.
Popeye.
I never played Popeye in the arcade.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
I don't. Oh, I think I did play it in the arcade at like the bowling alley.
Dang.
They had it at Adventureland.
Nice.
I played there all the time.
Whatever.
Okay, but
Burger Time.
let me get onto my bitch about Konami demos chair again
Yes.
because I did this with Galaga Legions DX.
Does it have to do
or
with the
something like
achievements?
that. Yeah.
I know, right?
Why do you lock the achievements? I know it's probably not a huge thing for a lot of people, but that tells me like what kinds of things I can do in the game. Because with the demo, I'm getting a limited version of the game.
yeah.
And so, I like to have a vague idea of the kinds of things that I can do. Is it just going to be more of this ad nauseum, or are there kind of stylistic things that I can do to change it up?
Like a skyscraper one.
Yeah, or
So you need to jump online and look them up.
Yeah.
But they should give them to you up front.
I don't understand why they lock them. It makes no. They are the only people I've ever seen lock achievements.
Like,
on
not
a
even
demo.
letting you look at 'em.
Yeah,
I don't know why they do that.
I mean, other games tempt you with it by saying, "Oh, you can get an achievement right now if you buy this game." No, Konami's like, "Fuck you."
You know,
these are our achievements. Give us the money first, and then you can get an achievement.
Then you can see what achievement you might be able to get.
Wait, so what kind you got? No.
Where's your money?
Let me see it. Put it on the table.
Money first.
Yeah, I don't know. The game didn't do anything for me.
I mean, it wasn't
if it's
super
gonna just
exciting.
Mm.
play on my nostalgia of like, oh, I liked BurgerTime, so I want to play that, then I would rather have the old BurgerTime. Mm-hmm. But would I pay $10 for the old BurgerTime? Probably not.
I would.
Xbake. I can't speak. Xbox Arcade.
You are a linguist.
I'm trying to portmanteau that shit.
I don't know.
Was it in what?
The old BurgerTime?
The arcade room.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have anything good in there.
They keep
I
downloading
angered
stuff.
like 3 people.
They keep downloading
Do they really
stuff.
keep
Yeah.
adding stuff?
No, they don't.
I don't
They
think
haven't added anything for a long time.
Well, last time I downloaded something, it
What was
went
that?
from like 8
Was
to
it
like
this year?
It was like no pack 6 to pack 11. So there had been 5 packs since the last time I checked it
I wonder
out.
when that 11 pack, because it's been a long time since they've done anything. They pretty much, I think, abandoned that
it
now.
So
it's too
I
bad.
think they've dumped it.
They should. They didn't play it right.
They did not play it right.
We
That
keep
is
going
correct.
on tangents with this BurgerTime.
I know. Sorry. That's what we do. Who cares? We don't answer to anybody.
It
Sean.
was a lot of fun.
take that, the man.
Yeah. F the man. I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Who's the man?
We all done?
No, I
I'm
got
the
some
man.
Pinball FX2.
I meant with BurgerTime.
Yeah.
All done with that. I played the Paranormal table. We all played it, right?
Nope.
Why didn't you play it?
I don't understand
We
this.
need to get to the bottom of this.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. What is your aversion to the pinball?
I don't know. I just don't feel like playing it.
I think you do it as like on purpose now because I want you to play it.
Well, that does add a factor.
I think so. I think it's a huge factor. I don't
I don't know
understand
if
your
it's a huge
aversion.
factor.
I don't get your aversion to it.
I don't know.
You should check it out.
I played a lot of video game pinball in the late 90s on my computer. And I don't know.
Well, I played in the 90s, so.
It's.
I'm saying
I know, but
I
it's
don't hate it.
I grew up.
It's a total. It's a free.
That's not what
It's
I'm
a
saying.
free.
It was free.
It's free.
Yeah, free.
You let everybody down.
You guys should know free doesn't tempt me in the same
I know,
way
but
as other people.
But it's not the fact that it should tempt. It should just do it.
Well, people know where to send their hate mail. It's okay. All right, so we checked it out, though.
Yes.
So what did you think, Sean?
I thought it was
the
really.
table.
I thought it was really fun. I thought they threw in a lot of crazy stuff in
They
that
did.
table, and it was easy to get to some things. And I think I just thought the game was fun to play, and that's yeah. I thought this was one of. It's not my favorite table of the mix, but I think the fact that there's a lot of cool things happening on with that table.
There's a lot going on with
Yeah.
that table, and a lot more than I thought they would for like a free offering like this,
Yeah.
because there are so many of those other base tables, like the early ones, that are really plain and not a lot
Sure.
going on. And there is so much on this table.
Sure. Well, they're trying to tempt people in.
They're doing a good job because it's an awesome table. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
free anymore, but it was for the last
Right,
week.
right.
So now it's the normal $240, I think, $3 or whatever it is for the table. But a lot of fun. I mean, it's very supernatural based, so it's really like X-Filesy.
Yeah.
Where they're doing like different cases. That's why I said there's like a chupacabra in there. How could you not want to play that?
Why do you think I love Chupacabra so much? You keep mentioning.
Do you not love the
Your
chupacabra?
fan fiction, your
Not really.
Chupacabra fan fiction that
You don't
do?
love all that stuff?
I mean, it's okay. I don't love it.
You'd love it. I've seen your suit. Chupacabra outfit. So it's got all those like, different mythological, like,
Yeah.
X-Files-y kind of sci-fi stuff. The Loch Ness Monster's in there. There's a bunch of that kind of stuff. And you're activating different aspects of those on the table, which is really well done, and there's just a lot of stuff included. It's kind of a tight space in that table, but there's a lot going on for that little bit of area. So I highly recommend checking it out still if you didn't grab it while it was free. At least check out the sample because, again, all those samples are free.
Yeah, even
you
that.
can at least demo it.
Just for that flipper that's on the far left corner.
Yeah, there is.
I was like, why is that
Two
flipper
extra
there?
flippers.
I was like, where's that flipper there?
And it goes to that haunted house.
Yeah, that's really, really,
A
really
whole separate
cool
thing that you're
Yeah.
bouncing around in.
Yeah, up in the where the score area would normally be. I saw that.
I think it was set up. It was set up really nice, and for a free table at the time, I mean, it was a steal. I would pay $3 for it.
Yeah,
and I
would too.
only usually buy the licensed stuff.
Right.
Because I've tried out. I've got
you're a sellout.
I am a sellout. I'm a huge sellout. But I've played those licensed ones, and I really enjoy the Marvel ones are fun. That Street Fighter one is fun. And I've been playing some of the trial ones on the other boards, and they're not that great to me.
Are those the older ones?
And they're first game? And they're more
smaller ones. Some of the Pinball FX2 ones from last year, like the Pasha and those other ones. Some of those are really well done.
Yeah.
But Marvel for me set a whole new bar. So.
Well, and I think that's it. It just seems like they've ever since then, and I think that Paranormal wasn't anything off from what the Marvel ones were. It wasn't like
they're just developing.
Yeah, and
they're learning new tricks.
And that's good with me because that Paranormal one was really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Excellent.
My scores were pretty good on it too, which is pretty
on a personal level, Craig.
Pretty odd.
Oh, good. Mission accomplished.
Gained a couple new friends because they're pinball people.
Yeah.
So, anything to get my score up.
Yeah, see, I don't want to associate with pinball people. I know how that goes.
A large portion of those listen to our show. Which is probably why you said that.
Yes.
How hateful.
We're hateful.
We're not.
Look, you are spouting nothing but love here. I have to take your job at this point.
That's right. Love for this game.
of being the hater who's making fun of everybody and foe making fun of listeners. I mean, we have a quota to keep up here.
I know. I apologize.
Everybody making my job harder.
Everybody continue to spam Craig's Twitter account, and now you can just be totally hateful since he completely failed. So just go for it. Have at it.
Do it.
All right. Anything else XBLA? Are we good? I can't think of anything else I have. I played a bunch of Bejeweled, but nobody wants to hear any more of that.
Not at
Definitely
all.
not.
Oh my God, so much Bejeweled.
No.
We've just said we don't want to hear more.
Okay, wait. I do have something though. After last episode, I went home and I played I was still half sick and on medicine, and so I played a shit ton of Bejeweled, and then I was playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and I don't ever remember my dreams, but I still remember this dream now. I had the coolest fucking dream ever of this live action superhero based Bejeweled game where you would match up jewels and get powers.
What do you mean by live action?
There were actual people, so there were things that were happening. You would match them up, and then it would people. It was my dream.
Was there any explosions involving butterflies?
No, there was not.
That's unfortunate.
But you would match up jewels, and it would give them powers. And so somebody needs to get on that shit. But then when I mentioned it on Twitter because it was a complete fever dream.
Street Fighter based puzzle game,
something like
Power
that.
Gem or something.
But this needs to happen with superheroes, and it was because I was playing Batman Arkham City and Bejeweled nonstop for 4 days. So it was a crazy ass dream, and it was awesome.
Funny stuff.
But I mentioned it on Twitter, and I saw one of the Twisted Pixel guys mentioned it to PopCap, so maybe they can get on.
Nice.
Because if anybody can do it, I want them doing it. So you guys work together. Get out. You guys are with Microsoft now. Get on that. Big team up. That's it. Enough
Does
of
anyone
my
have any
fever dreams.
demos or anything like that?
I have somewhat of a demo. I checked out the Saints Row.
Somewhat of a demo?
Well, it's the initiation station from Saints Row 3.
Oh, okay.
Initiation station. I'm glad you. Yeah.
Initiation station.
That's it.
Which is essentially just setting up your character from the game.
Oh, okay.
This is brilliant, by
Really?
the way. It's a character creator.
Yeah.
So you create your character, you upload it to their servers. You have to have an account with EA or whoever is doing the game. THQ. And so you upload your character, and then when the game comes out, you can download any of the characters that have been uploaded, including your own. So you can ahead of time set up and create your character, and then when the game comes out in 2 weeks, you can basically just download him and use your character in the game instead of having to sit there and create your character. Which is why I sent you a message, Sean. I'm like, did you check this out? Because you could just spend an hour making a dude.
It's downloaded. It was downloading this morning.
Multiple
so.
dudes.
Well, can you
And
save
ladies.
multiple characters?
I think so. I think you
Okay.
can save. You can upload them as many as you want. Yeah, I don't think it's limited.
Because you said you can download other people's creations
Yeah,
too,
when the
right?
game comes out, I
So
think
it's
you can
just a
download
giant
them.
database of
Exactly.
of characters.
of different combinations.
Yeah.
But
That's
you can
really
set up their
cool.
voices, all their taunts, everything like that.
man.
And so
It's like a wrestler creator.
it's exactly right. They do have some wrestling moves in there.
Well, there are luchadors in the game.
There's some funny shit going on, but it's just I think it's a brilliant thing for them to do.
Yeah.
A really
That's the way
smart
to build up some hype.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's really smart. Don't show a demo of the game. Just give an opportunity to make the characters, because I'll spend an hour on that when I first get the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So to have that already done is
Just
awesome.
an hour.
Now I can jump in. I know I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
I can jump
get
into the
it
game
right.
now. So I
cool.
recommend checking it out. It's out in a couple weeks, the regular game, but it's a fun little thing to check out
Awesome.
between now.
I've
I'm
been
looking
hearing
forward
so
to
much
it.
stuff about Saints Row 3. I keep forgetting that it's not out already.
I know.
Like I'll be at a store and I'm
Exactly.
like, Isn't that game out? Oh, I guess not.
I know.
I hear so much about it.
2 weeks yet.
Yeah.
It's the 15th, so
I'm looking
But that's
forward
good.
to it.
Good PR for THQ.
it's going to be a mess.
Some of the things. There you go. That's exactly what I've been trying to say this whole show, and I got it off my chest.
Perfect. Wow. That's profound.
Hey, I might.
I'm probably going to name the episode that.
I teared up. I have no idea what I was trying to say either. That's the best part.
You're looking forward to the game, I think is what you were saying.
I am. I'm not going back down that road. I'm
Did you finally
waving
get
goodbye to it?
To sidetrack it just a second, but I can't help it. But did you get to see the Grand Theft?
Yes.
trailer? And are you excited?
I
mean, it doesn't show anything. but
exactly.
Other than the fact that we know it's going to Los Santos again.
And that was the biggest exciting moment. I like that part of it. I'm interested to know what the story is about. I mean, it seems like he's a bank robber, and that's kind of cool to me. It'd be cool if he was like a con man or a grifter. That'd be really cool to me.
That'd be pretty cool.
But
I saw some speculation that it's Tommy from Vice City.
nice.
That is like older now because the guy's talking about getting out and moving down there, and there's a shot of an older guy that maybe looks kind of him. I mean, it's definitely not Ray Liotta doing the voiceover, but the guy would be 25 years older now, so they would have to have somebody that sounds older probably. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to be. I would like to see some other characters coming in. That'd be cool. I'm super excited. Obviously,
I'm just hoping for. I'm hoping this is the Grand Theft game that really pulls me in and immerses me instead of
4 didn't.
It did, but then I just lost interest in it.
What Vice City? Did you play any of
That's a
I
total
love
different.
Vice
That's a
City.
total.
I know, right?
Vice City. That's a total
Vice
different
City was the
bird.
best.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at it this way.
San Andreas was good though.
I agree with you.
I could not get into San Andreas.
You're racist.
That's true.
No,
That's right.
You're racist. That's
well, I just want to be upfront. No, but think about it this way. Here's how I'm looking at it as well. You had Grand Theft 3, right? So it was their first big redo of the whole series and onto the PS2.
Yeah.
And then you had Vice City that followed that, which maybe is my favorite video game ever in the history of the
It was
world.
just so quirky.
And it was like so defined. Like they expanded in areas and like knew what to do and like tweaked it. So now you have Grand Theft 4 that was the first for this generation, the new generation.
You skipped San Andreas.
Well, I know
Now
because
who's
San
racist?
Andreas was still on PS2 era. So now you go to 4, which had was finally on this generation or whatever.
Yeah.
So now the next one on this generation, are they going to be able to maybe expand it the same way that Vice City did, where they
I'd hope
set the
so.
groundwork and now they can expand it a little bigger?
I'm
That'd be
sure.
kind of awesome.
They've never really sat on their laurels in that sort of way.
Take out the dating.
I want a total like Red Dead feel. That's what I want.
Yeah, you know they do have that under their belt now too, right?
I want that. I want to be.
What do you mean by that?
I just felt so,
Emotional impact.
Yeah, I felt more,
okay.
and I felt more into the character and more immersed into the story.
Yeah, I have a real hard time associating with any of the criminal characters. I mean, even with Vice City, I didn't really associate with the characters at all. But it was just hilarious and fun to watch.
It was.
You know,
But I think because San Andreas was that way for me, was where I would kind of mess around. I'd go work out. I'd go eat. You know, and I did all the stuff that I would do. I'd almost play it like a sim. You know, and I think that's what I really liked about Red Dead, because I started doing that and I got through the game. I think
that's why I've never been able to finish the game. I go way off into that spiral.
Yeah, but
that's a whirlpool of death over there for me.
Spiral.
but it just seems like I'd set up my day, and that's how I'd do things. I'd make money or do something like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
And I'd land my F-15 in front of my house on a
Yes.
cul-de-sac. Oh, man. And then if you had your gang and gave them the camera, they'd take a picture of you. So the only picture I have saved on my PS2 memory card from San Andreas is a picture of me and my homies in front of my F-15 that's parked underneath the bridge on the cul-de-sac by my house.
Oh, yeah.
And we're all just standing there like, gangsters, and it's awesome. It is amazing.
Going on rooftops on a bike, not a motorcycle, but on a bike. And pedaling off. Oh, I used to love doing that. He'd just be like,
Yay! Good stuff.
I'm excited.
Yes. Okay.
I am.
I couldn't help but talk about Grand Theft
Yeah.
because maybe I'll play some Lost in the Damned.
It's gonna
Get
happen.
excited.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing it. F you guys.
No.
I'm doing it by next episode, all right?
Okay.
I'm declaring it. And now
So
it's
what are we
on
wagering?
record. I will pay each of you $100 if I don't pay it.
Oh,
If you don't play it,
Yeah.
if you don't pay it,
that's
That's what?
easy.
Easy what?
I could tell you guys that I would not play a game that I would never play, but I'd still play
We
it if
could
I was
check
going
his
to say.
achievements.
if I
Isn't
was-
that why I'm doing it?
No, but
That's
if I'm
motivation.
Gonna, yeah, but I'd say I'm not going to pay you guys I'd pay you guys $100 if I don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, of course I'd play it then.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
this is a good thing.
All right.
That's why I'm doing it.
Sweet. Start phone calling.
Done. Verbal contract recorded.
Hey, Jeremy, what are you doing? Shut up.
Are any listeners notaries? Are you notarizing this right now?
There's nothing notable about anything anybody that listens to us.
Oh, now see, you've taken your job back.
I'm back. Thanks for listening, everybody.
You're done loving something. So
I'm going to play
to the hate.
I just said I'd give you guys $100 each. I can't do that, so now I have to play
Again.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's forget about all that
games.
nastiness. Real quick, I'm going to mention a couple.
No.
I played some battle. Oh no, wait, we got Kinect.
Yes.
Let's do Kinect.
What's on Kinect?
We,
Well, you guys
Dance
played
Central
Dance
2.
Central
Dance
2.
2, a little Kinect Sports 2.
Sports Season 2.
I'm thinking of that. I barely think. I don't think of it. That's a Kinect game. I just think of it as the awesome game. So that's my problem.
That's what I think of it as too. So how was the new Dance Central?
It's excellent. It's a lot like DJ Hero 2. Where you play that game and you're like, I don't understand why they didn't do these things in the first game, and everything is just really smooth and all that. But at the same time, music selection's not quite as good as the first one. But but the dance moves are amazing.
It's just music right now isn't good. You know that, right? So that's the problem.
I don't know. Some of the songs are pretty neat, but I don't know. It feels a little more homogenous than the first one did. Like the first one felt like it had a variety of different things. This has some variety, but I don't know. There's not a lot that's new. It seems to be better at body detection and all that with the Kinect, and it's now capable of doing 2 players on screen at the same time, and it does that really, really well.
Good.
You basically turn on fitness mode, and it always remembers that you have fitness mode on, so you don't ever have to go back and turn it back on. You don't have to unlock that shit like you used to do.
What is fitness mode?
It basically keeps track of, like, it estimates calories that you've burned.
Okay.
But this one also has routines now, and so they've put together different songs that span different time limits and have different move sets and all that, so that you can do basically different exercise routines.
Like, if I want to do this specific kind of thing, it would like match it up with something that
it gets some songs that would fit that, some low impact songs or some high impact songs and stuff. And I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah, that's great.
It also has, I guess you could call it sort of a story mode. It's crew challenge.
Yeah.
Where since they introduced the
I got my dance crew.
Well, all the characters have now been put into crews.
Yeah.
And this is kind of tied to the quote unquote story from the first game. Like, if you beat the game and watch the credits, then there is like a little bit of story filler like trailing off, and I think it's connected to this. But so
I'll have to wiki that shit so I don't get lost.
basically, I know exactly right.
What's going on with the different crews?
But
I write in fake stuff on that page.
on that wiki page.
Oh, yeah. I go in depth.
So everybody's been partnering in
Ricky's
crews,
pregnant.
and so you're trying to basically buddy up with all the different crews till you get to the Glitterati, which is like the biggest crew.
Oh my!
And so each crew is a different pair, and so they have songs that are kind of styled to their type of style, and you basically have to earn a certain number of stars with them, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, you're in our crew," but then you're like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm going to go try and join this other crew, too. Which is kind of funny. But so basically, it's a different way to play the songs to build up your song repertoire. Although I don't think stars transfer from single player over the crew challenge. I don't think they do. So I think you have to play them again if you want to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's... Like I said, it's another way to play the songs. I don't know if that's really a major factor in the game for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I talked before when I played the demo about the changes to the break it down mode. The vocal commands are fantastic. That's a great way to be able to do things like slow it down and speed it back up. You can actually tell it to skip a move or go back and replay a move.
Nice.
Like when it cancels it out if you've failed it too many times and it tries to move forward. You can say, fuck that, previous, and then it goes back.
That's cool.
The video helps out a lot. I love all of that stuff. Yeah, I think I haven't done any dance battles.
Were you talking about it shows you video now too?
You can record video of yourself.
So like you can see if you're doing
You can
it wrong.
say record video, and then it'll have you do the move, and then it'll continue playing that until you say stop video. So you can kind of see what you were doing before doing wrong or whatever.
That's nice.
Also, the little visualization of you in the corner, the silhouette thing, is better. You can see more depth, so you can kind of tell where your arms are and stuff like that. Because I use that a lot while I'm trying to learn how to play. I kind of watch myself. I'll watch the character dance it first, but then I kind of watch myself up in the corner to see what I'm actually doing, how I look. If I'm screwing things up,
right?
It's not narcissistic.
I didn't say anything else.
A pink blob,
right?
And so yeah,
it doesn't explain the mirror in front of you, but
well, no,
okay.
well, that's for me.
Well, that's for me.
Obviously,
it's a lot of fun. If you like the first Dance Central, you're gonna love the second Dance Central. I think if you were mediocre about the first Dance Central, you should try out the second Dance Central. It might hook you. If you hated the first Dance Central, you're probably going to hate the second Dance Central.
Did they include any way to get those like they do with Rock Band to get the songs off the first one onto the hard drive?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can download it for $5.
Okay.
You can import them for a $5 licensing fee, and if you buy it new, the game new, it comes with 240 free points. So
nice.
Basically, you only have to pay $2, 180 points to download them, or you can use those to buy songs or whatever.
Right.
And they also lumped all of the downloadable tracks that were released during the first game into like basically huge packs, so you can get them a little cheaper and buy large swatches of songs.
Nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So then, so then you don't have to have the first, so you can kind of try out songs.
Well, good. I'm glad that they're continuing on with a way to keep everything, you know, combined into one game. So,
and it's a neat in like the menu, like it's got community stats, like it tells you how much everybody's earned for stars or how many calories they've all burned and how many times they've played and stuff like that, which is kind of fun. It doesn't seem to have leaderboards after you finish the song though, which is a little disappointing because the leaderboards were kind of a push for me in the first game.
It sounded like it.
Like I would
having fake rivalries.
I would be like, yeah, I just killed that song, and then like Pasta Wheezy would come up as like 20,000 points more than me. I'm like, God damn it! And then I go right back into the song.
Why are you fighting with all the ladies that listen to our show?
Well, I'm not fighting with them. It's healthy competition
that they don't know about.
That is awesome. I got I did get a message about what was it Swarmy Jerkface?
Swarmy Jerkface?
I think it was who beat my scores on pinball, and I went back to the table and then like owned it. So it really helped me. Like he sent me going
leaderboards.
He's like, I topped your score, and I'm just like, okay.
I only like them when I beat everybody else's scores, and when I get the messages that they beat mine, I don't give a shit. I just ignore those.
But I thought it was fun. It actually got me to go play it really quick.
Exactly,
it's been nice that I've had time off, so I could kind of just do that stuff randomly. So
yeah. That stuff was nice in DJ Hero as well.
Yeah,
I had one person who was sending me challenges for the DJ Hero songs. So
that's cool.
Kind of direct me back to games or songs to play.
I'll send you some challenges on that.
Do it. But let me know that you have, since there's no other way to notify me.
I'm just going to do it.
They'll just be sitting there.
Craig never answers
10
me.
years in the future. I'll dust off my controller. I'll be like, oh, Jeremy.
And then you'd be like,
I remember him before he went into a rage and got taken down by the police.
And then you'd be like, oh, DJ Hero, I played that in the 2010s. It's now 2020. I'm not going to play that anymore.
I am elitist. I am quite a hipster. I played it before it was cool. Before you guys played video pinball.
That's right. You were in.
I'm actually taking this stance now.
My Gottlieb collection, or whoever it is.
What?
I don't know. Whatever that old pinball game was.
Oh, I don't remember. It was the one that came with Microsoft.
That came with Microsoft.
Yes. OS.
All right. Kinect Sports?
Kinect Sports.
Are you done with Dance Central?
Season 2.
All right.
Electric Boogaloo.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Kinect Sports. I think I sent you a text last night that I think I got a fake sports injury.
Yeah.
Not a fake sports injury, a fake sports injury. It's all in the emphasis. So it was an injury caused by fake sports. Because I hurt myself and I woke up this morning and I was fucked. My whole body hurts.
Well, you got to warm up, man.
Dude, it's terrible.
I have a really bum shoulder. It's by my own problem.
It's pretty bad.
It's my own problem.
Bum.
I
bum in the way that it just comes out of socket.
Yes.
If you move it.
Oh, I thought you meant bum in the way that it panhandles.
It does
change.
panhandle for change too.
It actually came from a bum.
And it's always dirty. It's always
It's a
dirty.
I have a bum shoulder as well. It's in my freezer.
But
a little rosemary on that.
totally about knocked my shoulder out on a home run during baseball, which was pretty sweet though. Like I felt like, oh my god, I did this, but it about popped out.
Except
but
your arm would have been flailing around.
thank God I was holding my arm, so I was able to put it back in really quick. But I got a home run, and it was awesome.
Worth it.
It was worth it.
That fake home run was totally worth it.
So Kinect Sports Season 2, we have all new sports, 6 new ones, is that right? We have football, baseball,
6, yeah.
skiing, tennis, golf, and darts.
I don't know how darts is a sport, but
It's the same way that poker is a sport.
yeah, you got a point there.
Actually,
got a
less.
point there.
That's actually more physically demanding than poker is. So if poker counts, then I think we're good. I like the difference between them all. I like how they handle a lot of them. I
agree.
Football is maybe my favorite.
I think football, because I was kind of apprehensive about football when they first were announcing it, and I think they did a really good job. I mean, it's right along the same lines that soccer was.
Yeah.
In the first game.
So what do you have to do in the football?
It's offense only.
The offense, yep.
So you basically capture the kick. When they kick it to you, you run in place to run down the field. And then you have 4 downs. It operates kind of like Madden Arcade does.
Yep.
Where
you
you
only
have
4
4 downs
and that's it.
to get to the touchdown.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then you pick your plays. You have the long, short, or medium.
Get to the end zone.
And they're all passes.
What did I say?
Get to the touchdown.
Get to the touchdown.
Get to the touchdown place.
Well, that's where you get the touchdown.
Go down where the touchdown place is.
I've barely seen a football. But then
So you
have
stand on the grass.
You have to actually do
You gotta get to the touchdown.
You cup the guy's balls or whatever you do when you get down in there. So you have to squat down.
Yeah.
To hike the ball. They hike the ball till you stand up.
Yep.
And then you throw it, to whatever direction, this in the middle or to the left or right, depending on which side you want. And they kind of have a little notification above them.
Yeah.
To let you know if they're open or not.
I see.
The target will get green.
And then once they catch it, you have to then run to
right
where
off
you
the
can
bat,
run.
you should run right when
Yeah,
he
you
catches
should.
it and just start going because he'll
Bam.
get tackled if you don't.
Yeah.
And even if they jump out of the way, there's a dude that's like on steroids that comes running from like behind the
Yeah,
camera. And he just nails you every time.
And that's where the play and the sports, the faux sports comes into play. And I really enjoyed the baseball as well. I had some fun with that. Darts was good. Skiing I had a lot of fun with.
I had some problems with darts.
Darts.
I had some problems with the aiming on darts because
Yeah.
you kind of got to hover around and it's got a little cursor that goes where you want to go. And then you pull back a little bit and throw it forward. And every time I do that, of course, it moves my cursor a little bit.
But the good
it's my
thing about
camera
that is if you
problem.
pull it back and to the point where it
Maybe
kind
you
of
just need
like
to pull it back
holds
straight.
It will hold the target
It does, right.
and then you throw it.
And I've tried that, but I think I might be having camera problems in some
Yeah.
points because I'm pulling back and it, like, even when I do
I
that.
think you're bad at darts.
I am terrible at darts.
Nice.
But even when I do it, it, like, completely doesn't even throw.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and then my cursor goes all the way down or something. So it's like it didn't register my hand right or something. I don't know what happened. But
You got to stop wearing the black long sleeves and black gloves.
that's my problem.
You got to put on your bum hand.
I did. I was in that chupacabra suit from Craig's.
That's where it was.
And why it smelled like darts.
Awesome. So you like the skiing though? I didn't. I thought it was okay.
I just had a lot of fun with once I got the handle of it.
The jumping was what I had a problem with.
Yeah, but I think the second time I played through it was a little bit easier for me. And like I love the fact that you can just sit there and keep yourself like in the squat mode and fly down the hill and miss every gate and try to beat the other guy.
Yeah,
and
just
I
run
actually
speed.
did. And it was awesome. But that was the rookie, of course.
And then I stood up and my back was killing me. Yeah. I'm an old man.
In golf, I played a little golf with Summertime, and I had a lot of fun with that.
I also had some problem on golf.
My problem is the short game, putting. But that's
Yeah.
my problem in regular golf. So
Was your problem that there weren't any caddies to abuse?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I had a problem because we played, my wife and I, we also played the little mini game that they had for it where you're on the boat and hitting
You're
it
on a
on,
boat.
you're hitting it onto like these little islands and getting points that way. And you would have to turn on screen to like turn your direction because sometimes
Yeah.
it'd be your left or right. And it would make us almost turn where we were facing the opposite way.
Yeah.
And then when you'd try to swing, it would register it backwards because now you're backwards to the camera.
Oh.
And so, because, if I would be putting my arm up, on my right side and swinging it through, I would still do that, even though now I'm turned the opposite way.
Yeah.
And it would register not right because it's reading you as swinging the wrong way. It was a little weird on camera-wise on that.
Yeah.
But I didn't play any of the regular golf as of yet.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun.
You didn't have any of those camera problems?
They need to get harmonics to help
No.
them with that body recognition.
They do.
But the one thing I like,
problem.
what they did with Dan Citchell too, is they threw in the voice activation on that
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
and there was some voice activating in that, which was fun during football because you could hike it. And you're like, ready, hike, and,
that is fun.
and then call plays, and
Yeah.
by saying the name. So I really kind of got pulled into football. I think
nice.
that's why I liked football.
It was a
more.
smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you could just say the name of the play and then
Yeah.
have it move on, and it was a lot faster than having to hold your hand up. And
right.
Or the coach can pick it.
Just
and
convenient.
the coach kind of goes some good plays too. So you can just have it automatically pick plays.
Yeah.
And you could say audible and change it up
Yep.
too while you were doing it, and it would you would just say whatever one it was that you wanted, and it would change it. That was awesome.
And I'm glad that they didn't throw defense in because that was the other drawback.
I agree with you. I think that and I was thinking about that with baseball, and I really like the baseball, even though it was a little odd because it's basically
slow.
just swinging. It is a little delayed, and it's basically just swinging, and there's really nothing to it. You just hit it in. I mean, they automatically run based on how if it didn't get caught or where it landed in response to somebody else.
You just want to crack the thing.
Yeah, so you really don't have any control in it.
I see.
It's swinging and then pitching, and then once in a while they'll hit it, and if it comes to an area where you have a guy, you have to hold your hand out to a certain spot, and you'll always catch it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it'll just get hit to an area where nobody was standing, and they get an automatic run. So there's really no control. It's really more just for the pitching part.
Yep.
Sure.
It's like old school. It's like old school, Atari baseball, where you had to move the whole outfield as one.
Yeah,
I hated that. And
One unit.
yeah, it was just
Yeah, I
one
forgot
unit
about
moving back and forth, and you're like, crap, I got to move that other guy. But it's kind of like in that dumbed down in that sense. But it's still, I thought, I hit the scoreboard and broke it. I mean, the graphics are, I enjoy. They're the same, but I think they added a little bit more animation to the characters, which is fun. I think during skiing, one of the guys had a snowball fight. Like all of a sudden, starts throwing snowballs, and they're all pointing at each other. The football was pretty cool. Like people were reacting to that. Yeah, I really like this one around, and I think I'll be purchasing this one as well.
I think my issue, and I liked it overall, but there wasn't anything like bowling from the first one. The bowling from the first one was I really could have just sit there and play that all the time.
Sure.
And there was nothing in this lineup that I would not get tired of after a game or two.
I think golf is my bowling on this.
Is it?
If I don't have to go out and walk and chase a ball, I'm all for golfing. I have a big problem about hitting something and then going to find it. I don't understand it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Let's hit it. Oh, let's hit it further. Oh, let's not.
I think for a lot of people it's an excuse to drink.
There might be that, or enjoy the outdoors. I can see that,
Yeah.
but then just be outside. Don't hit and it's all about mine too, and that's why I'm glad this is dumbed down to where it picks my club and then I just hit it.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of give you attitude. Oh, you're gonna just use that, aren't you? Like, well, yeah, I am.
I don't worry about it.
And someone was like,
Shut up.
"Where are you hitting that?" I was like, "Just pay attention," because I played so many of those golf games, and a lot of the fairways are set up that way. So if you hit it where you're not supposed to hit it, you're probably going to get closer.
You got to count for wind.
Yep,
and slicing.
Yep, and that was that kind of aspect to it, and just having fun with the game. I liked it, and then golf was good. Darts, skiing. I didn't play tennis though.
Tennis was a little slow as well. It was kind of a little bit like the baseball when you're swinging the bat, where there was a little bit of a delay. So sometimes you got to
It's probably that ball
get ahead of it.
interception
Yeah.
thing. It was probably something they needed to do.
So you had to try to stay
So you
ahead of
didn't
it.
miss
a
it
little
all
bit.
the time.
But I like ping pong better. The ping pong was
I agree.
better.
See, I think
I
I
forgot
liked
they had
maybe
ping
some
pong.
of the options of the first one a little better.
Because I could smack that thing. Yeah. Bam. And if I do that with a tennis, it's just going to fly. Oh, my.
No, because if you step forward, you can do a power shot with that too.
Oh, man.
So there is, you should probably look at that stuff
Okay.
as well.
I will.
All right, cool.
All right.
That it for Kinect.
That
this
is
week?
it. That is our longest Connect corner, I think.
Maybe.
I did end up
quite lengthy.
accidentally playing in the labs, and I bought Sparkler.
Ooh.
I'm a little upset.
Why?
Well, because they don't put where they have download games in that labs. They don't put the price of it. So I was like, oh, download, yeah. And it's like,
Well, there are no trials for anything except for the ones that automatically come.
and yeah, but you still have to download some of those.
Right.
Yeah, but some of those are free and some of them aren't.
I think they do show a price at some point.
When you hit confirm download.
Ah, okay.
But when I didn't see a price, I was like, oh, free. And I
So you
thought it was
just double
free.
hit it?
And then I was like, like I double hit it, and I just so now I have that sparkler game. So
And is it not good?
it's all right. If I was a kid, I would love it.
Is it just a sparkler?
You're drawing pictures basically.
Yeah.
Oh my!
And you can like
How much did you pay for it?
It's like $3.
$3.
Oh my!
That's what I said. That's why I'm talking about it. It was upsetting.
I'm embarrassed to look at you.
It was upsetting for me.
This is his getting it off his chest.
It was upsetting.
He's got to admit it to somebody.
Yeah, so no one doesn't bust me out because I have an achievement for it. I'm going to play this son
So
of a
there's
bitch.
really
Well,
more
yeah,
damage
now that you have
control than anything.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that because someone's going to see I have the achievement. So
Well, all right.
yeah, I was a little upset. It's kind of neat.
You over it?
Yeah, it's kind of neat because you can kind of do 3D stuff with it too, which is kind of neat. But other than that, I just like seeing what the Kinect can do. I didn't want it to pay for it.
Well, you'll be more careful in the future.
I will.
All right.
None of those are free.
Should we talk about some disc games?
You're not.
Yes.
All right, real quick. Battlefield
I'm
3.
impressed.
I played some Battlefield 3.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't play a lot of it. I think I'm done with those kind of games.
Yeah.
I know I've said that in the past, but I mean it this time because I couldn't even continue on. I didn't care. I wasn't playing it for the multiplayer experience, which I know the majority of the people that play that game are going to be for the multiplayer experience. And
I hear this doesn't have the quite the single player experience that
I've heard that,
2
and I've heard
has.
there's a lot of problems with it.
Oh, really?
Like glitch wise, and that it should really not have shipped when it did. Like that kind of level of problems.
Yes.
And so I didn't run into any of those, but it also wasn't a driving force for me to continue to, I hope I can run into some of those game ending glitches. You know what I mean? So how much time do I want to sit with this?
Right.
And it was just another one where you run up and shoot through a bunch of people and then move on to this next area and shoot a bunch of people and move on to this next area. So I was kind of, just not looking for it. It looked great. The stuff that I did see, I mean, it looked really good. But again, I didn't jump into the multiplayer, so I'm not going to be looking at that.
I've heard a lot of good things with the multiplayer and not so many good things with the single player. So that makes sense, and that's where the game's going to lose me every time.
Exactly.
Right. Same here.
And also a little bit of GoldenEye Reloaded. We got a review copy of that this past week, so I haven't had much time with it as of yet. So next episode we'll probably talk a lot more. But it's a complete mindfuck.
Why is that?
For me, because I played GoldenEye, and now it's GoldenEye, but not GoldenEye, where it's like a Fringe, like the show Fringe, like their alt universe that they have.
Nice.
It's like if they would have, it's exactly what it is, because it's GoldenEye that exists in a modern day. Like if they would redo the movie now with Daniel Craig, and it would exist with current modern technology, but take place in the same kind of, you're going through the same level, but now I'm Daniel Craig, and now I've got a smartphone, and I'm like, what is happening? It's like I don't understand this. I know this area. I've been here before. I played it, but now there's a dude here with me, and this is a completely different take on it.
That's crazy.
So I like that aspect of it. I don't know how great the game is as of yet. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I will tell you this part, and get ready to laugh it up, fuckers, because I'm sure you'll have a good time here. You guys, you two in front of me.
All right.
Wow,
getting hostile.
I'm excited, actually.
Exactly. Because I'm anticipating the joy that this will bring. So I go through this vent system, and I remember this level from GoldenEye where you came into this bathroom and you got to take this guy out while he was in one of the stalls. And so you come in from above, and you kind of drop down in front of him face to face, and it has you pull your left trigger, and basically you knock him out before he can do anything.
Yeah.
Well, I failed it. I completely failed it.
Okay.
And so... No, that's not it.
Oh.
So I'm I'm going to restart my checkpoint because I'm sure that there's an achievement or something if I would have done that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go back and I do it, and I get it. And there was an achievement. 2 points.
Oh.
Fuck you.
That sucks.
Fuck you.
Oh my god.
So I look it up. I'm like, well, what is the other odd achievement? It's like a 3-point achievement.
Yeah.
There's another one in there. Yeah, there is a 3-point achievement. It's for getting killed 3 times in a multiplayer match by Oddjob's hat. Guess what's not going to be happening on my end? That achievement.
I don't know. You could probably just jump into a multiplayer, and that would happen.
What I looked up,
Who's Oddjob?
but I'm pretty sure I looked up something that you couldn't like open up his area until like you were level 35, which meant that somebody had to be level 35 before they could play as Oddjob or something. So it's not going to happen for like months and months and months.
I think you're underestimating the Oddjob lovers here.
It's true, but I might be overestimating the number of people that have the game.
Could be.
Who knows?
You got to start looking for 3-point achievements.
Exactly, 3 or 8.
Yeah.
I need to get back on the even, but I hate odd achievements, and I can't believe they pulled that shit on me.
It's funny that you went back and gave it
That's
to yourself.
what I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
I hate myself. So
Join the
anyway,
club.
I've been flying on my 7-point achievement.
I know, but it doesn't bother you.
No,
I have OCD.
I had a score of 70007 for a while there. That was pretty cool.
And that is cool.
I just got a goddamn 2 sitting there right now. 2. Who wants that shit? All right, but we'll talk about like that aside. I love the idea of the concept, and it's kind of blown my mind as a former Goldeneye player.
Yeah.
That they're changing it up, but it's like, modern day, and it's just this weird take on it. So I'm looking forward to playing the rest of it, and we'll talk about it next time because maybe we can pass it around and we can get a couple impressions.
Yeah.
That's about it. So how about some Batman Arkham City?
Let's do it.
Because now you're in that party too, Craig, right?
I am.
That's
And-
awesome. What do you think?
It's good. I like a lot of it.
Cool.
I do miss having more of a linear structure because I do
Yeah.
get a little lost in the world, but it is pretty fun. I've actually, one of my favorite things now is to kind of troll for Joker goons. Or not Joker, but Riddler goons.
Yeah.
And just beat them up so that it pops up all the little clues for where the Riddler stuff is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what Jeremy was talking about before last episode, where you have to get some patience to wait for gadgets, especially because it's it feels like a much longer game now.
Yeah.
Or it's at least longer until you get particular gadgets, but since you have access to pretty much everywhere, you encounter those kinds of areas that like the steam vents, like there are all those Riddler trophies hidden behind steam vents.
Exactly.
And it's like I'm guessing there's going to be something later,
Right.
because nothing I have is able to get.
And
me
they didn't
past
feel in your face about it in the other one.
no,
Where you did have to come back through areas, but
Right.
it wasn't as
and I think it's because it was linear, so you didn't get those things revealed until
Exactly.
you're much closer to getting.
because now you're in areas you shouldn't be in probably,
Right.
Because you're just wandering around.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I love all the little reveals in there and like different places that it takes you in Arkham City, and seeing the different characters and the little shout outs to storylines and stuff like that. It's all very cool.
The one thing I really liked, and I failed to mention it the last time we talked about it, was when you are helping those political prisoners.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times after you save them, the area that you're in, there's usually always going to be something around, like a Riddler trophy, or even one of his little.
Because there's like 500 of them around.
but
Every square
And that's
foot.
not too much of an exaggeration.
exactly.
It's like 440, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's like I found that it was really nice because these were like corners that I would have never really gone to or found, and I really like how the game kind of helps you out in that aspect. Yeah, you might not get them all, but you're gonna get this one if you help these people out. So I thought that was really neat because you're also helping somebody too. So yeah, I loved it.
I finished it.
Yeah, I loved it.
And in the end, I don't think I liked it as much as Arkham Asylum. I think that the open world format doesn't work for me. I want the more
it gets
linear.
diluted. I mean,
I agree.
And that's a necessity of open world. I mean, and I came into it knowing that it was going to be diluted, at least in terms of story wise.
It doesn't have the same impact on me like the first
or
one
drive or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
and
you have to motivate yourself.
did. You know what else I ran into, and this isn't maybe, I hope it's not a spoiler, but I ran into a part where the game where I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and focus on the story and try to get myself in that linear feeling, right? Because I'm having that washed out feeling, that diluted feeling that we're talking about. So I was going to try to rectify that on my end and just go story. I'll worry about the other stuff when I'm done.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I kind of got to the point in the story where some of the things in the world change pretty drastically.
Oh, really?
And so now I could no longer do any of the stuff on the side.
Oh.
And it got to the point where I got to the end, and this maybe fits in with something else I wanted to talk about, which is the Catwoman missions. I also didn't like the way that they included the Catwoman missions.
Why is that?
It broke a flow for me. like when I wanted to continue to play as Batman and then you would pop up a new Catwoman mission, you'd have to do that.
Yeah.
I think it was the actual fact that you couldn't skip it.
You can,
Right.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, you could add it in later, and so any of the ones you've missed, you can go back and replay.
Yeah.
Or you can replay them anytime. So why can't I skip it? Why can't I skip it now and I'll replay it later if I
agree.
want to? Like, I understand they're wanting to like put that in and it's a side story, but you should have that option to not play it right now if you don't want to.
I agree.
So what happened is I finished the game and there was an additional thing with Catwoman, and you had to get past that to go back in the open world, and I was like, you know, honestly, I don't care. So now I don't care. But so there was at a point where I wanted to kind of focus and move on with the story, but it got to the point where where I was with the story, I no longer had the option to go outside of that, and that was a little weird. It just
Did you
seemed
try
weird.
New Game Plus? See what
I did try New Game
What does
Plus.
that offer you to do?
Here's the problem that I ran into with New Game Plus is that you have to do that first Catwoman mission. That starts the new game because when I first started the game originally, I didn't have Catwoman. I didn't put the code in as of yet. So I didn't put her in until it was like the third mission for her.
Yeah.
So I skipped that originally. So I gave her no bonus stuff. So now I'm on New Game Plus, and she has no benefits, and everybody's all super tough.
Oh, really?
And so I was like getting super mad because I couldn't get past stuff because they were beating the shit out of her in like 2 seconds because she had no increased armor, she had no like other abilities.
Yeah.
And so I like was like super frustrated, and I didn't even want to play it anymore. I don't know. So it was a little off-putting to me.
The only thing that I was lucky enough to get a code for the Catwoman, and I agree.
He found it on the street.
I did. It was handed to me by a lovely lady named Catwoman.
She stole it for him.
Nice.
She did. I actually
should-
I hired
you with
her.
this
I
fantasy
hired
of
her.
yours.
I hired her, and she stole it for me.
She could probably be doing better work.
But
Yeah,
for me
look at
though,
Sean.
that's for
Come
me
on.
though. Come on.
Wouldn't you do it as well?
I would.
I've got that smile, but I agree with that Catwoman stuff because there's a point to it got to the point where I've gotten so used to playing Batman, and then I got thrown into that.
That's true. It is a major shift up. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, and that was the thing. It's like I was just like, oh, I got to change my fighting style right now. I've got to change the way I actually do tactics and I fight these people. But after that, I didn't have a problem. It's like I got that, I got
Right.
through that, and I enjoyed it. And then I just anything else I stacked on her.
Yeah.
And I got her boosted back up, and then it kind of really changed the way and then, but then again, I did a lot of just tooling around and beating people up a lot.
Yeah, and I do that a lot too.
And gain XP and all that
And
stuff.
that reminds me. So when the game came out, I was hearing those similar rumbles that we heard around Arkham Asylum for complaints with the game, where it's like, oh, the combat you can just mash X and be fine. For the most part, you can't just mash X.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, you could do that. And with the first game, I remember my argument was, well, but you're missing out on all the fun because it's actually quite a bit of fun to chain things together
Right.
and do crazy combos. But what I like about Arkham City is that they've given you a tangible result for being better fighters, for not just mashing
Yes.
X, because your XP is based on like how many different moves you're
Yep.
chaining together, how long your combo is, if you're adding in gadgets into your fight, takedowns, all those things
Yeah.
get you more XP. So the more interesting, quote unquote, interesting your fighting is, then the faster you're going to level up and the more things that you can do later on.
I swear I saw him take down 3 people.
He can. He grabs one
Okay.
and whips it around to
Okay.
knock over 2 other guys.
Okay,
it's awesome.
Because I was sitting there when I was playing, and mine was a little bit different because he grabbed 2, shoved them down,
Yeah.
but in that movement he did like this twirl thing and kicked the other guy in the
Awesome.
face.
It probably
and then-
depends where they're standing.
And that's what I was wondering because then that never happened again, and I was like, did my mind just see? Did my mind just see that? And I think that's what I did with the first game as I button mash. But the way that you can start hitting, and then it's like, well, now hit your BY or hit your, and I like that. It's like, well, do these combos now. You can't always do them on the fly,
Right.
But once you start getting in all those combos, then you can start adding to that, and then he gets like, it's like a tornado of fists.
It's really fun. It's really sweet. And I also like that as you unlock new moves, a lot of them you can decide to turn on the tutorial. You can only have one tutorial on, I think, at a time, but basically while you're in the fight, it'll pop up a reminder that you need to do this if you want to complete this move, which is nice for like the I have the tutorial on for the knife take down. So instead of just dodging the knife, but it's a little more challenging because you have to let go of the button and repress it between swipes, but then you can just instantly take them down,
right?
Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I just unlocked an ability to break guns after you disarm them or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that one.
I don't remember from Arkham Asylum, but did they have all those gadgets hotkeyed as well, where if you
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember, and maybe I didn't get into that level.
You couldn't use the explosives.
Yeah.
That you actually had to place down, but it had quick batarang attack, and it had a quick...
Because this is 100 different combos of button presses, and it uses all his 47 gadgets. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't remember all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a few that I gravitate towards,
Yeah.
like the electric gun is a good one, especially if you get a long chain going, or if you've unlocked that ability to... Once you get to 12, then you're moving faster or whatever, and then you can get the gadget one, which then powers it up, because that electric one, you can shoot it out and tendrils out to 6 guys and stuns them all at the same time. And then I wreck them.
That's always the good thing, is flying into a group and just freezing a couple and then electrifying a couple. Hit
the smoke bomb is great. I also like that you can use those gadgets to actually make villains hurt each other. If you shock a dude with a baseball bat, he'll swing around, and if he's standing next to somebody, he'll hit them.
Yes.
Or if you throw a smoke bomb next to I threw a smoke bomb in between 2 dudes standing with guns facing each other, so they started shooting and they started hitting each other, and then I swooped in and took them down from behind.
Nice. This is one other thing I just remembered, that I had this horrible experience when I was playing the game. I had this huge boss battle that was really tough. I was having a hard time with it, and they kept adding in other elements, and I was just really having a hard time. And it was my 4th go of it, because I kept failing it and dying. And I got my 4th go, and I had sent Sean a message on this. So I had to talk to him about it, because there's something also in the environment that can do damage to you and hit you. So you have to also avoid that. So I finally got to the point where I beat the boss level. I took down all the guys. I beat it. I had 1 thing of health left. I do the animation of the, when they have the final hit, and it's that they pull it out and they show you the big hit and you knock the guy out. I do that. It does the animation. It pops my achievement, and the thing in the environment hits me and kills me. So I got the achievement, but I died.
Right.
It started into the cutscene dialogue afterwards, but it still went to the death screen, and it had the guy that was there, but he wasn't saying anything. The audio was gone, and so then it had me restart, and I had to do the entire battle again. But I already had the achievement, and I was pissed because that battle sucked balls for me.
Why aren't you better?
Exactly.
And
then I beat it right away, just so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I did.
I think the other thing...
You can check my achievements.
Another problem I had with Catwoman is some of the animation for her, fighting was a little slow. When she straddles dudes, and then she does that,
when she had to be all sexy instead of just kicking ass.
And then the guys are sneaking up behind.
Are they takedowns? Takedowns always take longer. Batman's takedowns take longer, too.
But they don't seem to take as...
But it's not him posing
I mean, each character is a little bit different. You do have to... Because I guess Nightwing is even faster than Batman.
See, the equivalent of Batman teabagging him before he killed him is what she's doing, is the problem. I'm stop trying to be sexy. Just knock the guy out.
Yeah. That's my only problem. But
she got
some good movement.
I do like that you have
on.
to change up a little bit depending on the character. Robin or Nightwing or Batman or Catwoman.
I liked her fight style. I liked doing that stuff, and I liked her using the whip and stunning the guys with it, and then the way she would flip around and the way she would kick people.
Yeah,
I really liked that stuff. I just didn't. When I wanted to keep moving forward with Batman, I didn't want that sidetrack. So it was an interesting concept, and I understand what they were doing, but it was just weird. I guess it was odd. But you're liking it. You enjoy it quite a bit.
I'm probably going to play through as Robin as well. And
I think I might have
stuff with Robin.
I might have to purchase this game.
The Nightwing pack came out this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Did you do anything with that?
I haven't gotten it. I mean, I'm not done with the game yet.
You almost bought it. How about you buy the game first?
I was a confirmed download away from buying this game. And then I was like, I don't even own the game. And then
that's what I'm saying.
Got out of
Wait and buy the game, and then it'll probably be on discount by the time you get the game.
I know. But I like Nightwing a lot.
Well, look at that pack.
Shut up.
Hey, it's better than buying the pack and being able to play it, not finish it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I like buying games and then not playing them.
Sounds good. You have anything else to say about Arkham City?
No, I am enjoying it. It is a little, I don't know what I want to say with that. There's a lot of different stuff in there.
And can I also tell you,
you have to let go of some of the nostalgia for Arkham Asylum. That's what I know.
It's hard. Yeah. It is really hard because I do want to look at it as on merit. By itself, is it still an awesome game? Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Right. Yeah.
But it's hard for me to look at the narrative experience I got with the first one, and I wanted that to continue, and it does in some form, but it's so much harder to keep yourself on that narrative stream.
And I think this city is that's a big point of it.
I do too, the openness of it. And I also think, and I really missed some of the really neat things they did with the Scarecrow in the first game.
Yeah,
like I missed.
They tried to do that in this one.
They do a few things that,
I didn't have anything that impacted me like
different.
No,
There was just some really awesome, like impacting moments of there where I was like, "What the shit?" And I don't have that in here, and so I don't know.
Sure,
and it's just left me a little empty.
Well, that was pretty cool what they did with Scarecrow in the first one.
They tried to fill it with Riddler question marks.
The first one was the first one with Scarecrow was a little awesome. I mean, I don't think
it's hard to top.
Yeah,
I know. Oh. I just wanted any of it. Anyway, regardless. All right. Is that it for games? Are we done?
That's it.
All right. Signedinpodcast.com, our website. You can check our links to our Twitter, our Facebook, all the other past episodes, all the other pseudo radio shows like Signed In and 3 Die Block. Which you guys just had your 200th episode. What did I just say? Signed in?
Yeah.
I
know.
I just promoted our show
twice
on our show.
He's trying to weasel his way onto our show.
I was like, he went on the 3 Die Block. I'm
only on good shows, so.
Anyway, I haven't listened to that new 3 Die Block yet, but I'm amped.
I hope you like
ready.
it. It took me fucking forever.
I could imagine just looking at it. I was like, holy crap stick.
The poll list, as I was saying before, which you guys just recently had your 200th episode.
Yes, we did.
A couple weeks ago.
That's right. We're old.
Congratulations, guys.
Right after our 6th.
Yeah, you guys did the Marvel trick.
Well, I don't want to say
restarted your numbering
Marvel.
And then went back to 200. It is Marvel. Did you see Wolverine 300 in a couple months?
Didn't they already have a Wolverine 600?
And 900 and 1,000. So I don't know. I don't know. No, they had 1,000, they had a 900, they had a 600, and this is a 300.
Well, this is going back on the other one, though, right? They're retarded.
I
hate
no
them.
idea.
I hate and Stanley. So you can also email us at comments at signedinpodcast.com. You can email us anytime. We'd love to hear from you. And you can send your hate mail to Craig there or to the poll list on Twitter.
Yes.
About that pinball table. Next episode. I don't know what you guys are going to do.
I like people mentioning me.
I don't know what you guys are going to do because I'm going to be talking about 3 hours on Skyrim.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want me just to record that at home and send you the file, I can do that.
That would be awesome.
Because I don't care what you guys have to say about it. I'm just going to talk about it. So Skyrim comes out, Saints Row 3 comes out, we might be checking out that.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, I know I just said with Battlefield 3 that I'm done with these kind of games,
but you're gonna play it.
But I'm probably gonna play it.
I will probably check this one out too, actually. Just
and I want to play
stuff blowing up.
I want to play more of that Zombie Apocalypse. I play some of it, I guess. I haven't even checked it out yet. So
I can't remember if you might even be able to do multiplayer on the demo.
On the Zombie Apocalypse?
Yeah.
The Zombie Apocalypse? The only way I can get through the show is drinking.
So if you do check it out, let me know. Maybe we can play some.
I'm re-downloading it. Yeah.
And we need to do some
I stopped playing Batman Arkham City, so I can download stuff now. So it all works out.
Good.
You're less obsessed
Good for you.
now.
Well.
I said less.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's comparative.
And Dungeon Defenders, we want to play some of that co-op. So next time, we have a lot to talk about next episode.
Cool.
I wonder what sort of downloadable games are coming out.
Can you do like some big wondering music?
When is
the Wayne's World?
What is I'm not going to say the name of it. Never mind.
Retro City Rampage?
Sure. When does that come out? Damn it.
It's been.
I don't know.
We go through this every time.
Yeah, the soundtrack's out. Yeah,
I'm convinced at this point it doesn't exist.
I don't think it does.
I saw it at San Diego, but I'm convinced it doesn't exist. That was just like a cartridge that somebody was playing. Some old Back to the Future game.
Cartridge.
I think that's what was happening.
Cartridge.
Anyway, that's it. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Shut up.
Thanks.
Bye.
receiving this transmission. This has been a pseudo radio production. Repeat, this has been a pseudo radio production. Copyright 2011.